So this is part 2 of the video where I showed everything that I got at the train show. So we got to the Northern Pacific engine, and while the first video was uploading, I worked on this engine a little bit by putting some traction tires on it and just cleaning the wheels again to make it run a little bit better. So we'll test it out, and it runs good. There's full speed. It's a pretty quick engine. That one's really nice. I like that one. So next we got the Rivarossi GG1, the Amtrak one. This one is really fast, and it runs nice and quiet. There you got full speed. I'll slow it down just so it doesn't derail. Full speed. Oh, we derailed. Too fast. That's the first time it's derailed. I'm surprised because I used to run it around full speed quite a bit. This one's kind of tricky to put on the track since it's got 4 different sets of wheels. If you don't have a re-railer, then it's a little bit tricky. It takes a little bit of time just to make sure all the wheels are on the track because it's got 10 wheels. Bring it back over to where we're at. Yeah, but that one's really nice. So here we've got the little old Mantua switcher. I'm going to have to move that, but it's got the all-metal body, which is how it gets some of the electricity from it. And it runs alright, but once it starts running, it slows down a little bit. As you can already kind of hear, it's starting to slow down a little bit. But I think it's more to do with how the electrical contacts are, that most of the power comes from the tender, and that's how half of the electrical contact comes. And if you don't clean the contacts on that tender pretty frequently, then it really doesn't run that great. It goes really slow and forwards. It runs really good in reverse, which is kind of unusual, and I've tried switching the brushes, but it doesn't really do much good. So it's probably just easier to let it run around. It runs pretty good. It's not really jerky or anything, and it goes over the switches alright. It's just the speed of it isn't the greatest, and I need to get a new coupler because the screw is broken off in the tender. We'll let it run around once. Or we'll put it in reverse because it goes a little bit faster in reverse. Well, not by much actually, not now. It's not the quickest engine, but it doesn't need to be. It's a little steam engine. But it's a nice one. I really like it. And it was only $15, so that's nice. So now we got the Union Pacific Mantua engine. That's probably my favorite engine out of all the ones that I got. And it runs good. It used to run only about this fast when I got it. That would be full speed, but now it runs quite a bit faster. And it's got all the parts, and it's got good paint and everything, and it was only $30, so that's what's nice about that one. That's only about 3/4 speed right there. It'll go a little bit faster. So there's full speed right there. So that one's really nice. And it's a nice heavy metal engine. It's got an all-metal body and a plastic tender, but the trucks are metal, and it's got pickups in the tender, so it runs really good. It's nice. And last, we've got the big Bachmann Burlington route engine, and with this one, the plastic gear or the plastic wheel holders aren't cracked yet. But the main thing is it's not if they crack for me. It's pretty much when they will crack, because I'm pretty sure that they will crack at some point, because they have. And I've got a couple of the other engines that have have cracked gears, and but it's still a good running engine. It's just the fact that those plastic gears or they're not really gears, because the only gear is on the back wheel, but the main problem is just finding a part to replace them when they break. But it runs good for now. It used to run a lot slower and louder, but once I took the motor out and cleaned it and started running it a lot, it runs a lot better. It's a really nice looking engine too. It's probably the biggest steam engine that we've got, other than the Lionel daylight engine, which I will put up against it because I haven't done that yet. So we'll stop it here, and you can see the wheels there. It's got the big wheel set. So down here I've got the all the steam engine storage, and here's the engine. This is the reason that he gave this big engine for free, was because of this engine. It's got cracked. It's got the plastic wheel holders, and they're cracked, so it doesn't really run that great. And that's why he gave us the second engine for free, was because of this engine. It didn't run quite as good as it would when it is new, so I need to find some new wheel holders for it because it really doesn't run that good. And I'll put it on the track just to show you. This one is a little bit tricky to put on the track too because of how big it is. It's just like that other engine. It's got the same amount of wheels. But instead of being a Bachmann, this one's a Lionel, which you would think would be a better engine, but it's just that it's not a very good design. It's got the plastic wheels. It's lost power. There we go. As you can see, it just derailed, which has happened before. It runs kind of lumpy, as you can see, and you can hear it too. It doesn't run smooth. It's losing power from the power it's getting. Half the power comes from the wheels that it has, but since the wheels aren't really touching, and it just derailed there because of how the gears aren't really lining up. So I might do a restoration video on it or something, or trying to fix it, but I've tried to fix it before and it really hasn't worked that well, so I'll probably just figure something out with it. But anyway, that was all the other engines too. That one's in a different, that'll be a different video or something. So that's been these engines, and I just forgot I need to do the other engine. So I just remembered I needed to do the big Santa Fe O-gauge engine. So we'll turn it on. It's got a reverse there. This one runs really good. So, and the lighting isn't the greatest over here because it's in the main room of the basement. As you can see it there running around. It runs really good, and I've got a long line of old Marx freight cars hooked up to it. Yeah, that's on. And it's got the light and everything, and that was only half speed, so that's going to be it for this video. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.